But for purposes of this challenge, if you could pick one area and think about what it is specifically in that area that is keeping you from loving the Lord with all your whatever. So I wrote down some questions to ask yourself to help you figure out which area it might be, okay? Is it your affections? Are you having trouble loving the Lord with all of your heart, all of your affections, all of your passions? You might ask yourself, are you serving two masters instead of one, the true one? Is there something that is consistently tugging at your affections and pulling you away from the Lord? Maybe it's your will. Are you preoccupied with self and what you want and trying to be in control versus letting Him be in control? Are you preoccupied with your to-do list? That's a hard one. We all have to-do lists. Could it be your thoughts, your thought patterns, what some people call stinking thinking, or not believing in His promises, believing the lies instead? So are you having trouble loving the Lord with all your mind when it comes to your thoughts, thought patterns, stinking thinking, not believing His promises and believing those lies? And lastly, are you using your strengths and abilities to serve Him? Or are you kind of hoarding them all for yourself? Are you using those to glorify Him and to allow Him to work through you? It's interesting, sometimes the Lord will use you in an area that you're not strong in so that He can bring glory to Him. If you think about it, if you are weak in an area and God sends you out and says, go out and do this thing, and you think, that's not my talent, that's not my gifting, and yet you do. You're obedient, you go out and you do it. And it turns out well, you know that was God in His power working through you. And that can really help us form a great dependence on Him so that we don't feel like we have to be in control all the time. So just because you're strong in an area doesn't mean that God will use you always in that area, and just because you're not strong in an area doesn't mean He won't use you in that area. So something to think about. Okay, that's it for today. You guys, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm certainly getting a lot out of it, and just a kind of a quick confession on my part. I had hoped to have all 21 days done and videotaped before the 21-day challenge started. That did not happen. And it's typical, I think, of my personality in general to be more of a procrastinator, but in years recent, I really don't like to procrastinate. I really like to prepare and have things ready and organized. And in general, I feel like that's how I've operated the past few years. But there are still areas where the Lord, and this is one of them, where the Lord is having me rely on Him daily for inspiration from His Word and from hearing from Him and from some of the feedback that I'm getting from you guys, that I'm having to rely on Him daily to prepare for these. So this is really good for me too. So I'm just a few days ahead of what you're getting in your inbox, but not many. And I think that's good because you guys are going to have some feedback for me, and I want to be able to address those in the videos. So this is really good. It's like manna from heaven daily. Okay, I love you guys, and I hope that this is edifying for you and that you are getting something truly wonderful out of it, and that this particular day's study it, being the first of 13 things that the Lord wants from us, I hope that it really resonates within your heart, soul, mind, and what's the other one? I just forgot it. Your strength. And I'll be praying for each one of you, and I really thank you for reaching out and sharing with me some of your challenges, because that helps me to pray for you. So I have each one of you listed on a piece of paper, and I'm praying for all of you, and as you reach out to me, I'm making notes specifically for each one of you. Okay? Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Woo, it's really snowing.